I was reborn the day I got married. Not spiritually, neurologically. One second I was standing at the altar in St. Augustine Cathedral. The next, a radio I didn't know I owned crackled to life in the back of my skull. Selena's hand slid into mine. Smile, flawless. Vows, flawless. Thoughts? At least this time I'll get the better deal than my sister. I didn't flinch. I'd survived enough Parker family dinners to learn how to hold a face. But I looked past Selena's veil to her bridesmaid, Marissa, whose glare could have etched glass. Selena always takes what should have been mine. If I'd moved faster, Adrian would be mine too. So that was the air under all those pearls and perfect hair, rivalry, scoring, deals. The cathedral was packed with money and manners. Behind them, a swarm of quieter voices. Uncle Robert. Did he sign a prenup? Cousin Jennifer. 6 months tops. Great Aunt Millie. He's too skinny. The minister pronounced us husband and wife. Selena thought, step one complete. Step one of what? At the reception, the Parkers performed like pros. Selena smiled for a small nation of cameras. Gerald, her father, blessed people with nods near the bar. Evelyn, her mother, mapped the room with surgical precision. Dominic, the eldest brother, approached first. Razor suit, handshake like a clamp. Welcome to the family, Adrian. His mind, he won't last. He'll crumble like the others. The others? Then Lucas swept in. Movie star grin, backslap hug. Welcome to the circus, brother. His mind. Sooner or later, Adrian's place will be mine. By cake cutting, I'd stopped pretending this was nerves. It was an advantage. I could hear the subtext everyone else was trained to hide. Near midnight, we reached the Parker estate. Columns, ivy, the works. I was loosening my tie when the front doors opened. In strode Gerald and Dominic with a lawyer who smelled like billable hours. Contracts, Gerald said, already heading to his study. Business doesn't stop for sentiment. On my wedding night, they slid me a post-nup thick enough to stop a bullet. Generous allowance, a city condo, excellent health care, and zero stake, zero say, zero power. Golden handcuffs wrapped in leather. Evelyn's mind from somewhere in the house. More than fair for someone who brought nothing. Dominic, take the deal and stay in your lane. I read, listened, and set it down. This is generous, I said. I'd like something different. The room stilled. Give me 12 months running subsidiary 3. If I turn it profitable, I keep 10%. If I fail, no allowance, no condo, no alimony. I walk with nothing. Silence, then the mental chorus. Evelyn, arrogant fool. Perfect. He'll bury himself for free. Gerald, either he proves useful or eliminates himself. Dominic, he's tying himself to a corpse. Fine. Metrics, Dominic said. Revenue growth, retention, market expansion. No, almost. Agreed. Selena later. How did it go? Educational. I took the couch. Strategy, not romance. This marriage was a contract with nice lighting. I would treat it like one. Subsidiary 3 smelled like stale coffee and broken morale. Fluorescents flickered. Half the cubes were empty. 12 people showed up to my first all hands looking like survivors of a slow-motion shipwreck. I won't lie, I said. We're in a hole. I can't promise job security. I can promise a plan and a shot. We dropped the fantasy of being a boutique giant. Our niche was mid-sized clients too big for mom-and-pop fixes and too small for the McKinseys. I brought in ringers. Noah found patterns in chaos. Isha made ideas contagious. Thomas kept clients feeling like royalty. We rebuilt the pitch, product, and pipeline. One small win, then 2, then 5. That's when the sabotage started. Anonymous roses, whispered thoughts when certain visitors toured our office. Set him up. Make the press eat him. Monday, the records room flooded. Sprinklers malfunctioned. Marissa arrived with perfect timing and perfect pity. Try saving it now, her mind sang. We had triple backups, including off-site. By Friday, we were fully operational, and a prospect signed because of our resilience. Marissa left, smile cracked. Her thoughts. How is this possible? I was learning the Parker rule book. Always have the contingency and the counterpunch. The annual Parker Foundation Gala at the Plaza made the Met Gala look thrifty. Diamonds, donors, cameras, underneath a hum of calculation. Then a text driver named Leo hijacked the microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll find this interesting. The projection screen bloomed with what looked like internal Parker financials, transfers, shells, receipts. The ballroom detonated into phones and whispers. Finn Parker, the security chief, mind racing, traced the source. Check device history, upload logs. Lucas, damage control. Lawyers, PR, triage. Marissa's thoughts weren't panic, but delight laced with fear. Perfect. Let Leo take the fall. By the time they find the real source, it'll be too late. Finn's eyes flicked to his phone. Upload originated inside our network. Marissa's device, 11:47 p.m. Gerald's fury hit like a cold front. Get them both. Security took Leo, who shouted about being set up. They intercepted Marissa as she tried to slip away. Adrian framed me, she screamed. No one believed her. The crowd was too busy capturing scandal and soaking up schadenfreude. Later, by the bar, Evelyn regarded me like a specimen that had learned to open its own cage. You knew, she said. I suspected, I answered. Proof tends to hang itself. Her mind, cool, assessing. Dangerous in the right way. 6 months. That's what it took to drag Subsidiary 3 from coma to contribution. Retention up from 37% to 84%. 12 new mid-size contracts. Revenue up 130%. For the first time in 3 years, we weren't a liability. Margaret, Evelyn's assistant, human subpoena, summoned me to the main conference room. The entire clan and half the executive team were there. Charts glowed on the wall. In the middle are numbers. What Adrian accomplished in 6 months, Gerald said, eyes on me, others failed to do in 6 years. Dominic's mind didn't see that coming. Lucas, recalibrate. He's not going anywhere. Selena, more than I planned. Useful or dangerous? Evelyn slid a folder across the table. We'd like to expand your role. Vice President, Strategic Development. Oversight of underperforming divisions. Executive Committee seat. Compensation was obscene. But this was really about status. I'd been wedding decor. Now they were offering a chair with teeth. One question, I said, closing the folder. What happens to the marriage contract where I get nothing if I fail? Pause. Thought gears clicked. That contract assumed continued underperformance, Evelyn said. We can renegotiate. I'd rather honor it. I hit the target. I'll take the 10% of Subsidiary 3, and I want something added. They braced. Partnership, not payroll. I want equal footing in decisions that touch the divisions I build and the reputation I front. Air thinned. Then Finn, rarely sentimental, broke the silence. No more convenience. A real partnership. Gerald and Evelyn exchanged a look. Evelyn nodded once. Very well. Equal partnership. At dinner that night, Selena and I actually talked. Do you regret this marriage? She asked. No, I said. True. Her thoughts matched her words for once. Maybe I underestimated you. Maybe I need you more than you need me. To unexpected outcomes, I said, lifting my glass. She smiled, a real one, and touched hers to mine. The greenhouse invitation arrived on a Tuesday. Evelyn's private temple of orchids and strategy meant real business. She trimmed a bloom worth a starter home and finally faced me. You've proven yourself, in the division, with the family, under pressure. She set the shears down. I'm putting you in charge of the Parker Foundation, $200 million in annual giving, and all the soft power that comes with it. Not checks, leverage. It's a responsibility, she added. Her thoughts, he smiles for cameras and shows teeth in silence. My air in spirit. We moved fast. I launched a first-gen scholarship that made great press and actual impact. I restructured the investment committee. Fewer cronies, more adults. Rehired 3 people who'd been exiled for asking honest questions. Published line-item transparency reports. Forbes called me the Iron Groom. The Times wrote about a new philanthropic guard. The Journal begrudged respect. Marissa came back, costume changed to contrition. I was manipulated, she said softly in my office. I've learned. I want to make amends. Her mind, let me in, and I will gut you from the inside. Marissa, I said, gentle as a scalpel, you taught me something valuable about survival here. Thank you for the education, but you don't step into my life again. The mask cracked. You can't do this, I'm family. You're a cautionary tale, I said, opening the door. She left with her thoughts shouting all the way down the hall. That night I stood on the balcony, Manhattan a field of constellations. 6 months earlier, I'd been a prop in a family pageant. Now I ran a foundation, led a turnaround, and had a true stake. The mind reading had been the spark. Learning to play the game had been the fire. The boardroom felt different. Same mahogany, same oil portraits, different gravity. I wasn't at the far end anymore. I had a nameplate near the center and numbers the room actually cared about. Gerald finished the agenda. The foundation's metrics and subsidiary 3's growth. Impressive work, he said. What Adrian did in 6 months, others couldn't in 6 years. The mental summary around the table read like a new weather report. Dominic, not a weak link. Lucas, Allie, not obstacle. Evelyn, finally someone who understands the game. That evening, Selena and I had dinner. Really had dinner. Fewer masks, fewer rehearsed lines. You surprised me, she said. I surprised me, I said. We toasted again, this time to something that felt suspiciously like partnership. Being reborn wasn't about hearing voices. It was about decoding a world where everyone speaks in layers. The Parkers had assumed I'd be grateful for a seat at the table. I learned to bring my own chair and ledger and make the table better. I'm not the groom who stumbled into a shark tank anymore. I'm the strategist who learned to swim with the sharks and teach them a few new strokes. I'm Adrian Matthews, VP of Strategic Development, Director of the Parker Foundation, equal partner in a dynasty that now says my name with respect. I turned a corpse division into a contributor, outlasted sabotage, navigated scandal, and built something I can sign my name to. Most importantly, I write my story now. And in every room I enter, the loudest voice is the one in my head. The one that says, keep your face calm, your ear open, and your next move 3 steps ahead.